Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Howard who loved writing stories.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, wubba-dubba-doo. Worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world. He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer.
Hello and welcome to the worst writer in the world.
Hooray!
So I am looking at one of your school books. This is English 1C.
Ooh.
So that makes you 11. So it's called Future World. I tell you what, this is confusing. Like there's a speech mark at the beginning, right? Like it begins with dialogue.
Yep.
But then that doesn't ever seem to end. Or when it does, it there's a paragraph and then there's the closing speech mark and then there's like 5 dots and then there's another speech mark. So I think it's just, and then there's a sentence with speech marks at the end and then a full stop and then a new speech mark after it. Yeah. So it's like there's nothing not in speech marks. So does that just mean it's in first person and you hadn't quite, that you were too young to know that you didn't need like speech marks when you're writing in first person? I guess that's what's going on, right? Because otherwise it's very confusing. All right, well, I'm going to assume, since it's in first person, I'm going to assume that it's Howard is the narrator. And I'm going to do it in Howard's voice to try and get the real, the full experience of Future World by young Howard. It was one of those days when people kept having accidents.
Hey, one of those days.
That's the first line. One of those days.
One of those days, yeah. Obviously something that's a regular thing in the future, maybe. In order for me to say it's one of those days, typical future day.
Maybe the future is like more advanced. Maybe they basically went, there's a lot of accidents and they're very disruptive. What if we have one day a month and we just get all the accidents done on that day, and then the rest of the month we don't have any accidents? Yes. And then, you'd stay at home on that day, wouldn't you? But most accidents happen in the home.
Oh, shit.
And that's what happened. Everyone's like, oh, shit, better stay at home. And that's how it worked.
That's right. And there's
all their accidents.
And some people just like, the type of people that jump out of aeroplanes. On this day, they all climb on top of their houses and climb ladders and, stand in the middle of the road because they're like, woo, exciting, it's accident day. Let's see what can happen.
Yeah, those people who jump out of airplanes.
Terrorists.
Parachutists.
Well, if I was a terrorist, I would definitely jump out before I hit a building. I'd be like, wait a second, why do I need to be on the plane? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, give me a parachute, fuck's sake. I'm not sure you can parachute out of a jet plane, though. I think that they might move a bit too fast for parachuting out of.
Right.
I think that I don't know.
I don't know.
But I feel like
you
just get sucked into the engine or something.
I think you press a button and like you go out the top, don't you?
Those are fighter jets and stuff. Although I suppose they move quite fast as well. I don't know. But no, I read not long ago that if you do eject from an aeroplane,
well, like a Boeing 747.
No, if you're a fighter pilot, and you have to eject. In movies, they do that, and then their parachute goes and they float down and everything's fine.
Yeah.
But apparently, if you have to do that, you're getting injured, badly, and might die. Because it's not actually that groovy. After all, it's really dangerous and like a last resort kind of thing.
Right. Okay, I see.
So maybe movies have lied to us for a change.
Yeah.
About how things work.
I mean, movies, everything lies to us. And it's like you just said, if you're on a regular plane, like a Boeing 747, and it starts going wobbly and you have to jump out, you will immediately get sucked into the engine like a duck, and then you it's like,
and that's the worst part. I mean, just being sucked into the engine, that's bad, right? But having to turn into a duck first, that's just added trauma, isn't it? You're like, fucking hell, I was able to fly for the first time. I was pretty excited about being a duck. I was surprised, admittedly, but I was looking forward to eating all that bread and exploding. That was good. I was so excited about that. And then I got sucked into the jet engine and died. Flipping very upsetting. And how am I doing this narration?
Because I'm on Gallifrey. That's why.
Yeah, I'm on Gallifrey. I'm a talking duck on Gallifrey. That's what I am. Yeah. All right. So that's what we've understood from this first phrase. Is that it was the day of the month in Future World where everybody has their accidents to get them out of the way so they can, enjoy the rest of the month.
Yeah. Would though, wouldn't it? Because like, if you knew that the accidents only happened on that one day, you could take major risks the rest of the month, couldn't you?
Yeah. It'd be like in sci-fi when someone gets a prophecy or sees the future that they're gonna do. Well, it happens in Hitchhiker's Guide, doesn't it? But I keep seeing that in things where someone's got something that means they can't die.
Yeah.
For a period of time, and so they start taking risks. You're like, oh, it's not accident day, and then someone else would be like, yeah, but you're doing it deliberately.
Yes,
that's not going to be an accident. You just jumped off the roof of your house. That wasn't an accident. That was stupidity. It was one of those days when people kept having accidents. I knew because I had just fallen in some cow stuff.
Cow stuff.
Hey, you're 11. You're not allowed to say words like shit, are you? You know that. You know you're not. I tell you what, this is the problem.
Well, we don't know. You don't know that it means shit. It's the future. Cow stuff could be anything.
Cows' belongings, like their radio.
They may have overthrown the human race. They might be our overlords. Oh no, I found some cow stuff. They're going to punish me now. They're going to send me to room 1 moo 1.
Oh dear. Oh no, not room 1 moo 1. That's where the worst thing in the world is. Yeah. So what I was thinking is, when you're 11, you know you're not allowed to say poo or shit in like an English class, right? But maybe you're also not totally clear what the acceptable term is either. Do you know what I mean? Because they're a bit complicated and tend to have French roots and stuff, you know? It's like, oh, I need the Latin-based word for shit, and I'm not sure what it is. Yeah. Or some weird polite form that's like euphemistic, so you're just not familiar with it. So you end up writing something like stuff. And then, in the future, like adults get confused about whether or not cows have taken over the world. And if you fell in their belongings, like their radio and stuff, their future radio, and now you're going to have to be taken to room 1 moo 1 and have rats put on your face.
Yeah.
All right, so I knew it was accident day because I had just fallen in some cow stuff. And when I tried to clean myself, I fell into the bigger log.
And
got all dirty again.
Oh, no.
So, sequence of events. First, I fell in some cow stuff, just like hanging out in the fields, falling in cow stuff. I mean, that like as a Londoner now, that sounds like completely ridiculous. But actually, growing up in or near Coville in the countryside, falling in cow stuff was a bit of an everyday danger, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could happen. I don't know whether it happened very often, but I mean, it was a possibility.
Where I grew up after I moved away from where you lived, down the bottom of our lane was just a farm, and there were fields with loads of cows in. You know this because we saved one time.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell Mr. Listener, Miss Listener, and Mix Listener what we did that day?
There was an upside down cow. It was upside down,
and we turned it round.
we couldn't turn it around because they're quite heavy, aren't they? So we phoned the vet.
There was basically like the field had like essentially a kind of valley, didn't it? You'd like the bottom of our lane, you'd go into the field and it would be a slope down to a stream, and then on the other side a slope up again. Yeah. Right. So the stream's down at the bottom, and a cow had fallen into the stream. Like it looked like while it was trying to get across the kind of person bridge, the thin single plank kind of person bridge, and was it like midway through giving birth or something?
Like
right?
Another cow hanging out of it.
Yeah. It was terrifying, right? It was like, well, we're not ready for this. We're too young to see this kind of thing. And so you're right. It was a cow. We were children, basically, weren't we? We were like maybe 14 or something.
Yeah, we were the type of people that were happy to have that cow between two pieces of cob. But we didn't want to see it upside down in the stream with another cow coming out.
There's something weirdly wrong about saying 2 pieces of cob.
Yeah, 2 cob slices.
Cob is a bread roll, everyone. In Leicestershire, cob is a bread roll.
Yeah, or a male swan.
Yeah, and also, weirdly, you can sweat cobs. That's strange, isn't it? Because you're so hot that male swans and bread rolls are coming out of you.
Yeah.
That's what Leicestershire's like, though. It's a weird place. But We went for a walk. It was when we were writing our brilliant 12-hour-long play.
Magnum opus. Yeah. Smoogler, the alien came to Earth and lots of scientists dissected him.
Yeah, that we were very sure the school was going to put on as their end-of-year play. no doubt about that. And I think we probably had a break, right? We've been writing hard all day, working hard, go for a little walk, clear your head kind of thing. Find a distressed cow upside down in a stream with another cow coming out of it. What were you going to do? We can't turn a cow over. Even if we were strong enough, we wouldn't know how or how not to injure it, especially when it's got a second cow hanging out of it.
Yeah.
So we we went home and started. I think we probably did. We tried to ring the farm first, and they were like on holiday or something weird, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah, they maybe. Yeah.
Because we did end up ringing like a vet, and I don't know if they kind of sorted it themselves. They probably contacted the person who needed to, because they might have known the deal, and it got sorted.
Yeah. I can't remember whether I remember seeing it or I imagined it, but wasn't there like a big kind of like vehicle that came and like picked the cow up?
I don't remember that. I think you might have imagined that, because I don't think we went and hung out down there, did we? I don't think we sat and waited for the ambulance. I think there was a point when the vet probably said, "Don't worry, we'll take care of it," and we were like, "Good, okay, we can get back to our child lives now." When I tried to clean myself, I fell into the bigger log and got all dirty again. So I had a shath.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is what made me think, right? Because it's not a bath, it's a shath.
Yeah.
Which I think means like it's a bath when you have a shit in it. That's like when kids like have a crap in the bath kind of thing. It's like, now he's having where's Bob? Oh, he's having a shath at the moment. Oh no, drain the water and get him to have a shower instead.
Yes, or I mean, like in this instance, maybe it just means a bath where you wash off all the shit that you've got on you because you fell in the cow shit and then you fell in the bigger log. So
that could be true. Yeah. Okay. So I had a shath because I was covered in shit.
But we don't. We actually think it's a cross between a shower and a bath, don't we?
So I had a shath. Also, what is this? If it is,
I don't know.
If it is shower and bath, right?
Yeah.
What? I mean, I've got a shath basically because I've got a bath with a shower over it.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Do I have a shath every day? Because it's not just a shower. It's in a bath.
Yeah, you're shathing.
Fuck. So I had a shath, and I was clean again. When I got home, strange things started happening. Oh, by the way, my name is Johnza.
Future John.
Yay! Future John, yeah.
Future John.
Yeah, I remember this from the first time we read this one. That Johnza is one of the most amazing things because you loved the name John so much, but when you wrote a future story, you're like, well, I mean, it's set almost 200 years in the future. Yeah. I can't possibly say they're called John. Yeah. And I don't know, Future John feels a bit of a cop-out. What if I say Johnza? That's a sci-fi name. Got a Z in it. Anyway, so by the way, my name is Johnza, brackets. Well, you're probably not interested anyhow.
Wow. Johnza's got some, issues. Nobody cares about little Johnza. Oh, poor Johnza.
I go around telling people my name's Johnza, and they're like, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
Fuck off. No one's called Johnza. Your name's John. Just stop complaining.
Now go away, you stink of cow stuff.
And bigger log stuff.
Yeah.
These strange... Oh, he said strange things started happening, right? Oh, by the way, my name's Johnza. These strange things were stuff like the bigger log blowing up and the typersay breaking down.
Oh, not the typersay. The typersay sounds a bit like some kind of dictaphone. Or, no, what do you call it? The person that works in a court.
Stenographer.
Yeah, the stenographer. That's a typersay, isn't it? Because you type what I say.
All right, so my stenographer broke down. Started crying. Like, why do you want me here? I don't know why I'm here. You're a child. Now, just keep writing down everything I say while I describe exactly what's happening to me. Oh, by the way, my name's Johnza. Just in case you thought it was Howard, because it isn't, okay? It's Johnza. I changed it. So, yeah, the bigger log blowing up and the typersay breaking down. Similar complaints were coming from the Dipanites next door.
The Dipanites next door.
And several loverlands had made a strike in the streets. I mean,
Yeah.
It could be anything, couldn't it?
I mean,
I think you're just making up words. And
when you've got an 11-year-old who doesn't understand anything about society or anything about machines or explosions, and then you add to it a load of made-up words, what you get is utter nonsense, I suppose. Yeah, they made a strike. You know, I've heard of Neil Kinnock, so probably some love nodes are making a strike somewhere.
Neil Kinnock.
Yeah, Neil Kinnock. yeah. You know.
Yeah, good one. I mean, he was tangentially involved. I agree. I admit, but I'm not sure he's the main actor. We grew up around the miners' strike. You know, we should know all about that. Like our families were involved in that. Similar complaints were coming from the Diepanites next door, and several Lovelons had made a strike in the street. Then everything went silent. The people in the streets disappeared, and then several houses blew up.
Oh, shit.
After that, everything was normal again.
Yeah, accident days
We
over.
just got on with our lives. Yeah, that's true, yeah. I crept outside. No one was around. I went round some houses to see if anyone was there, but it seemed like I was the only person left. I decided I should go down to the TV studio and find out whether anyone had turned up there.
I decided to go down to the TV studio and start making Doctor Who. Because it had been cancelled, so I wanted to make some more of it. Since there was nobody around to stop me, I was going to go and make it. And I was going to play him, and I was going to play a woman, and we weren't going to kiss.
But then I got there and found myself kissing myself, so I cried and rang my dad. So I went to the TV studio to find out whether anyone had turned up there. On my way, I saw not a single person, and the studio was the same. Well, I thought so until I heard Sasro and Gavroche speaking.
Sasro and Gavroche.
Maybe it's a U, Gavroche.
Gavroche is a character from Les Miserables, so it's probably Gavroche.
Okay. So Sasro and Gavroche
was
speaking, and they came up to me and said that everyone had disappeared, and I told the same story. We, brackets, us three, set off to find out the cause. Suddenly, Sasro shouted, brackets, tongue twister, look up there. Oh, suddenly Sasro shouted is the tongue twister. I was expecting a tongue twister after it, and it's like, look up there. Say that 3 times fast. Okay, look up there, look up there, look up there.
Sasro shouted, you need New York, unique New York. You know you need unique New York.
Shut up, Sasro. This is not the time for tongue twisters. So Sasro shouted, look up there. He pointed to a strange object, triangular shape. It's a UFO, brackets, unidentified flying object, in case you didn't know. He shouted. I don't know if he shouted that, brackets.
He did do, yeah.
It's a UFO, brackets, unidentified flying object, in case you didn't know. He shouted.
Yeah, no, that's not what it stands for. It stands for unidentified flying. Ooh. We all know that.
Yeah. It zoomed down fast at us, firing strange beams of light.
Oh, shit.
Out of the beams came lots of creatures, like flies.
Weird fly-like type things. Flies.
It shot flies at us. It's shooting flies. We, brackets, us three, got out our KF splatting machine. We got out our KF splatting machines.
Kill fly splatting machines.
Yeah, and started killing off the creatures.
Good job we were all carrying fly swatters in the future. It's 2172, where everyone's got a fly swatter in their back pocket.
Well, you got that problem of unidentified flying objects turning up and shooting flies at you. You're going to carry a KF splatting machine, aren't you?
This, I don't know, this story, this is the most made up as it went along story ever, isn't it? I've got no target in mind. I just started writing, and it's like, okay, aliens turned up.
I feel that's true on 2 levels, because I think that's true of the story, but it's also true of most of the sentences as well. When you start a sentence, you have no idea where it's going to go. And also the story, because like suddenly there's 3 people, so 2 people were there, so now we're a team. Then a UFO turns up and it starts shooting flies at us. So we got out our splatting machines to swat the flies. So we started killing off the creatures. And soon, we, brackets us three, had defeated the creatures. Obviously, they, brackets whoever was in the UFO, decided they could not kill us that way. So they, brackets things in UFO,
I mean, yeah, they can't.
shot lasers at us.
They definitely could not kill you by, like, you know, launching some flies at you.
Shooting flies in your direction.
Unless because,
irritate you,
Unless all that cow stuff you landed in and you went in the bigger log, that the flies thought you were some shit and ate you.
Maybe
that's
maybe
the only possibility there.
Maybe this UFO can identify your biggest weakness. It's like, in fact, it's the computer from the end of Superman 3, because that's what Richard Pryor says it's going to do. It'll find you, and that's why it can shoot kryptonite lasers at Superman, because it finds your weakness and it exploits it. So
shoots a beam of light with whatever's going to get you.
Yeah, and this guy's covered in shit, so like flies are going to eat him then. Get a load of flies at him. Once he's dead, it's going to shoot some guns at the others. Their biggest weakness is guns. Anyway, so they, brackets things in UFO, shot lasers at us. It's true. They found their weakness of lasers. We ran for cover. After several hours, they, brackets aliens, stopped firing and left. We've talked about this before, and I said much the same thing, I'm sure, that I feel this discomfort and fear about using pronouns. When you're writing a story and you're not very proficient yet because you're 11, and you're like, well, I'm writing he or we or they, but is it clear who I mean? Because you're not ready to structure I mean, in this it actually is, because there's only two groups of people and it's we and they, and it's really not that difficult, but you're still nervous about it, so you're like, oh no, but I better make it clear by putting in brackets. When I say we, I mean us three, and when I say they, I mean the aliens in the UFO, or the things in the UFO. And I remember that same feling. I empathise strongly with you.
That's why I always go through all of my things afterwards and replace he with Gret Benchleaf. I just use find and replace.
It's just very confusing when you've got any other male characters in your stories.
All the words
suddenly they're all called Gret Benchleaf.
Suddenly to Gret Benchleaf.
To Gret Benchleaf, yeah. I mean, the letters H-E appear in a lot of words. So we ran for cover. After several hours, they, brackets aliens, stopped firing and left. Okay. I got out my stove. No, it's in inverted commas, like it's a weird thing, but it's a list. I got out my stove, saucepan, bottle of water, and this one is weird. No, it isn't. I thought it said Spock boiling bag. I thought it said Spock boiling bag.
Spock boiling bag. Yeah.
And I got up my Spock.
That seems illogical, Jim.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Spock wasn't there, so I put it away again. No, it says 3-pack boiling bag, which is marginally less weird, but not a lot. So he got out his stove, saucepan, bottle of water, and my 3-pack boiling bag, and we had 1 course each. All right, so it's some kind of future meal, like packet meal, but it's a bit more complicated than most. Because it's like, I just got my instant meal, but I'd still have to boil it in water with fire. Obviously, so I got my
gas stove. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a stove, saucepan, water, and magic future food, and then boiled it up.
Yeah.
So that's what you could have had pasta. It would have been the same.
Yes.
Thing. And we had 1 course each. Then we fell asleep. When we woke up, we found we were in some kind of surgic room.
Oh, shit, not a surgic
room. Oh,
no,
we're in a surgic room. We decided we must have been in the UFO. We must have been in the... We decided that we were in the UFO, basically.
Decided. I've decided to be in the UFO. Here I am.
After some time, some strange-looking things flew in the room we were in. It said...
Yeah, well done.
It said, "Hello, ye earthlings. That is your names." And it is kind of spelt like that. It's like, "Hello, yo earthlings. What is your names?"
Oh, wow.
So I've decided, "Hello, ye earthlings. That is your names." "My name is Gavroche," said Gavroche. "My name is Sasro," said Sasro.
Yeah.
And I said my name was Jonza. And then the alien said, "No, it isn't." "Don't be ridiculous. Your name's not Jonza. Stop being stupid." No, and the things left.
Wow.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. I mean, you've written five. This has been corrected. It's a rare. I should talk about it because it's a rare correction by Mr. Cotton.
Oh yeah.
Because you have written 5 minutes went, but you haven't written went by. So he's changed it to 5 minutes past.
Right. Past
right.
what? 5 minutes past 12? He's fucked up there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's made a real mistake there, idiot. 5 minutes passed. The things came in and led us out of the room and into another. The leader of them said to me, "Do you want some grub?" That's, do you want some grub? Because they say grub at these aliens. I said, yeah. No, okay, so he's trying to speak the same language. So I said, yeah, dv. Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Yes.
I do. Then they left again. After another 5 minutes, they came in with 5-pack boiling bags. Ready, done. That's better because it was only 3-pack boiling bags before. Right? And this is 5-pack boiling bags. And that's a bigger packet of instant noodles. Anyway, so they came in with 5-pack boiling bags, ready, done. Oh. The leader said, "Gvi thit devin ye." Get that down, you. And we soon did. We were all starved. All right, so, okay, it's got a brilliant picture here. It's got a picture of the leader and the leader's men, all right? And what I know from this picture is that the leader appears to be a different species to the rest of the aliens. Because take a look, there's the leader at the top.
Yeah.
He's a dog. He's a green dog. And the leader's men are like jellies with eye stalks sticking out the top. The leader said his name was Sir Unferocious Bandersnatcher. And his 3 men were called 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. He also said he was after a group of dangerous Vlads.
Oh, no.
He said he had mistaken us for Vlads. That is why he shot at us. The Vlads had took the other humans hostage. And here's a picture of a Vlad, and I think we can all see why he might mistake you for a Vlad, because it's a kind of rectangle with a triangular bit cut out of its head. Gavroche, Sasro, and me teamed up with the aliens to defeat the Vlads. You know, so every now and again you turn to Gret Binchley for a bit.
Yeah. I've noticed that.
Sometime later, all of us heard noises outside the UFO, so we went to investigate. As soon as we stepped out of the UFO, approximately 10 Vlads charged at us.
Roll a dice. If you roll a 6, you defeat the Vlads.
The leader fought 2 Vlads.
Oh, God.
His men fought 1 Vlad each.
Yeah.
Sasro
He
fought
Vlad.
1, and me and Gavroche fought 2 each.
Yeah.
I am cool.
Yeah. I'm fighting 2 Vlads.
Everyone fought 1 except you, Gavroche, and the leader, who all took 2 each. Again, you accidentally made 10 Vlads and then realised that was too many. This is Jack's Turkeys all over again. 2 of the Vlads ran into a butcher shop where the leader fought them. In fact, it is. Because it actually is, right? Because in Jack's Turkeys, there's 3 groups of 2, right? That is exactly the same. Because let's work this out. I'm sorry, everybody, but we're going to have to revisit Jack's Turkeys again. All right, so the leader fought 2. That's the butcher's shop. Then Gavroche fought 2. That's the taking a dip in the Thames. All right, and then 3 men fought 1 each. So that is getting on a barbecue, getting in a tramp sack, and getting in a car. Right. So that makes. I don't think this is going to work out at all. I think you've got your numbers right. Yeah, you definitely have. And then me and Gavroche fought 2 each. So we did Gavroche, and then you have the 2 in the poultry house, and then no one. But that makes sense because one of the Vlads didn't get fought, and so he ran back into the spaceship and had boar's head with Jack. Yeah. That's what happened to the 10th one.
Yeah,
right?
of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
It was 1, 2, and 3, wasn't it? There was because there's a picture of 3 of them here. I think you've got 1 missing, but maybe we'll find out about that missing one later. But it is exactly it is exactly the distribution of Jack's Turkeys. You had to have 3 pairs so you could come up with enough fates for these Vlads. All right, so number 2 got injured, so Sasro took on that Vlad number 2, the leader's men. Number 2. So Sasro took on that Vlad. The leader threw us some laser. The leader threw us some laser guns to us.
Yeah, should have given them earlier.
Brackets number 1, 3, Sasro, Gavroche, and me.
Oh God.
So, like, that's some impressive throwing. To be fair.
Yeah. He didn't throw it to the Vlad.
When I say us, I don't mean them.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't mean them. And together we defeated the Vlads.
Hooray!
Except the one who went back into Jack's garden and had boar's head for Christmas dinner with him.
Yeah, we took great pity on that Vlad.
The next thing to do was to sneak up on to the Vladu, brackets the Vlad ship. Sasro stayed behind with number 2. Sasro stayed behind with number 2. He needed the toilet.
What? Is that what it says?
No.
Oh, right.
Because Sasro stayed behind with number 2.
Yeah.
That sounds like a future euphemism. Sasro, I'm just going to... Do you mind if I stay behind and look after number 2?
Yeah.
And number 2's confused. He's like, do I have to stay here as well? No, you can come with us, number 2. But he said, it means he's having a shit.
I've invented too many characters, so this one's going to stay at home and take his shit and not come on the adventure.
You have, again, because you always do, until you finally learned when you wrote Forget Me Not and just went, two's enough. You must, this one was not planned, but even when you planned it, you're like, right, I'm going to plan a story about some kids who go on a bus trip. So how many characters do I think? 28. 28 characters should be the right number, I think. Yeah. Okay, now all their names, I better make a list because otherwise I'm not going to remember them. And say what their character is. Okay, Alison, timid sod. All right, that's her character.
Loudmouth cow.
And loudmouth cow. Utter bastard. Marcus Peabody, utter chimp. It's just what's my insult for these? But then actually, you haven't changed that much, have you? Because when we write Gret Binchley chapters, particularly the ones that we write with our secret gang guest starring in them.
Only that's the only ones we do.
True, but that's what you do to them. Just insult them, and that's what you've always done. How do I insult this character? He was an idiot. she was loud. All right, so Sasro stayed behind with number 2 to help him. Oh, because number 2 got injured, and the rest of us crept onto the Vlad's UFO. And the rest of us crept onto the Vlad's UFO. It's not a UFO anymore, is it? I mean, when you say it's the Vlad's UFO, that is identified.
Yeah.
And also, it's not flying at the moment.
Yeah. Identified parked object.
So we went onto the... We crept onto the Vlad's UFO. There were 2 guards. The leader and I defeated them, and we all went onto the UFO.
Okay.
We split up. I went with the leader, and Gavroche went with numbers 1 and 3. The leader and I soon found all the humans.
All of them?
They were frozen in blocks of ice.
Brilliant.
The leader and I plugged in some burn paper and melted the ice.
Fuck off.
To be fair to young you,
Plugged in
you started out
some burn
making up a lot of words and then kind of got bored of that.
Yeah.
You got sick of that on the first page.
I got so bad at it that I was thinking you can plug paper in. It's like
burn paper.
Lit some burn paper or turned the heating on. I don't know.
No, this is probably presumably this is going to melt the ice quickly, and also in a way that doesn't just kill all the people that are already dead in there. We plugged in some burn paper and melted the ice. Numbers 1 and 3 and Gavroche said they had set off a bomb.
Oh, shit.
So everyone better get off the UFO.
Oh, fucking hell.
Wow. Also, they did that before they knew that they'd got all the people with their burn paper. Now, presumably they're communicating with each other. They've got all the people off, and the other guys are blowing up the evil ship that's trying to kidnap the entire human race.
Mm-hmm. Headed by Mr. Freeze of the Vlads.
Although it doesn't say they'd set a bomb, it says they'd set off a bomb, and that means it exploded already.
Yeah, we blew up the ship.
We're all dead now. Anyway, do you want to ghost off to heaven, or should we go and analyse some boys? What do you reckon?
Yeah.
So everyone better get off the UFO. The leader led us off the UFO. Every single human from Earth followed behind it. Literally is every single human. from Earth.
Shit,
followed
all
behind.
in one place, and all on that spaceship.
Yeah.
Do you think that would
One spaceship.
that would put the Earth off its axis? Would it, if all of a sudden everybody was in one place?
I suspect not, but I don't know. I have no
Maybe
idea.
a lot of the weight of 8 billion people suddenly all in Coville. I think would.
But the thing is, I'm not sure how. I think we have a high opinion of ourselves, humans, and actually we're not that heavy after all.
Right.
Compared to the world.
Yeah.
I think we're quite insignificant.
I think so. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. Maybe it is. Maybe the Earth would fly off into space and get lost forever. Okay. So every single human from Earth followed behind.
Every single human.
Okay, this is weird. No, this is weird. I'm reading the correction because there is a correction here. But it seems you've written every single human from Thailand. But Thailand is spelled... I say that out loud and realise that it sounds like a country. But it's T-I-E. Thai, T-I-E, land.
Yes.
And your teacher has crossed it out and written Earth.
Oh.
But surely, if you've written Thailand, it's because you've made up a place,
Yeah,
right?
or misspelled
not because...
Thailand, one or the other. But
Or that,
not
yeah,
because I
yeah.
meant the entire population of the planet Earth. Yeah.
No, you meant every single human from like a town.
So it's
or
Mr. Cotton
or
that
a
doesn't
country or something.
understand that would throw the Earth off its axis. That it wasn't young Howard.
Yeah. I mean, have you got any idea what Thailand might be? If you could think, imagine you're a kid and you probably, to be honest, we were Coville kids. We probably never heard of Thailand, the country.
Yeah.
So you've probably invented this from scratch. Thai, like something you wear,
Well,
or something you do.
it was one of those tiny shops, wasn't it? You got in airports, Thailand. I think.
All the humans from that shop where they sell ties. 3 people. Yeah, that's weird that he's chosen to. Why would you read the word Thailand and think, oh well, this child probably misspelt the word Earth?
Yeah,
It's almost none of the
that
letters
is weird,
from
isn't
Earth
it?
are there.
Didn't correct it to Thailand.
I mean, didn't correct most of the mistakes in your writing. And I'd say also one of the things I'm a teacher, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that we do is you don't necessarily correct every single mistake, right? Because that can,
Yeah,
especially
Mr.
if a
Cotton
person makes a
certainly
lot of
abided by
mistakes.
that rule.
But you do correct some, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
also,
one.
if you correct every single mistake, it can be a bit like dispiriting, a bit
Mm-hmm.
kind of demotivating for someone who says like, "Oh fuck, I've made a lot of mistakes." So what you do is you pick out the useful mistakes, or really, really important, the repeated mistakes.
Yeah.
Because like you can misspell a word once while kind of knowing how it's normally spelt, right? I see writing from students who spell a word correctly most of the time and then get it wrong once, which is just a mistake. But you constantly write off with one F. Like set off has one F, and you do that almost every time, and he hasn't corrected you once, and that is something that needs correcting because you need to learn that. And I suspect that Mr. Cotton did not know the difference between of and off, and also that he might have been quite strange because he thought when you wrote Thailand you meant he certainly didn't think you meant Thailand, the country, and was like, that would at least make some sense. Now, there's no reason for that. Either you think it's a made-up place or you think it's misspelling of Thailand. You don't think, oh, he means Earth. I need to call Mr. Cotton and ask him what the fuck he was thinking. So anyway, I'm going back to the original because I have more respect for young Howard than I do for old Mr. Cotton.
Thank you.
So, the leader led us off the UFO, the leader led us of the UFO,
Yeah.
I should say,
Yeah.
because that's what it says, and Mr. Cotton did not correct it, so it must be right. Every single human from Thailand followed,
Including
behind.
Gary Glitter.
We just reached to safety, didn't correct that, we just reached to safety, when the Vlad's UFO, Vlad's with no possessive apostrophe, also a very common mistake that he never corrects, blew up. The leader, Gavroche, Sasro, numbers 1, 2, and 3, and me, he corrected me to I. He likes doing that one.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a repeated mistake that he likes to correct.
He's basically just a pedant. That's what he was.
Yeah, but a pedant about some things and not others, which is what pedants are, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because pedants tend often, I think, tend to be people who have worked out a couple of rules and are really fucking proud of it. Like, they know a couple of things, and especially if it's a couple of things that most people, or a lot of people don't know. Like, people get very excited about the fact that they know the difference between there, and there. They're like, yeah, well done. That's super fucking basic. And yeah, a lot of people don't care. It's not actually that you're more intelligent than them. It's that you care about something stupid and they don't. Right? Oh yeah, the difference between your and your. Yeah, well done for knowing something super fucking basic. But when you corrected that person about how they spelt your and your, you also made 3 other fucking mistakes because you're not that fucking clever. So maybe don't correct people. Maybe just leave people the fuck alone. But I mean, it is his job to correct people. To be fair to him,
yeah,
that is his job, and I suspect he's not doing enough of it.
We never really
doing too much. I think he's not doing enough.
You just because they're a teacher, you just assume that they're smart and everything. But I mean, I guess a lot of teachers aren't, and maybe he wasn't qualified.
No,
maybe
proof right here, right? Proof
right here. Yeah.
So he's corrected me to I, but he hasn't corrected the comma that separates the subject from the verb, which is also wrong. But the leader, Gavroche, Sasro, numbers 1, 2, and 3, and I, comma, became famous all over the world.
Wow.
Or perhaps I should say, the universe.
Ooh.
Everyone was saved, and the leader, numbers 1, 2, and 3, said they would pop over to Earth every now and again. The end. All right, now the score. Do you want to guess? Do you want to guess what score you got for this?
I mean, it doesn't deserve 19. I mean, I would, it was.
I'm going to give you a clue. It did not get 19.
Okay, 12.
No, because it doesn't seem to be out of 20. Because Mr. Cotton was completely insane, right, and just like really random with his scoring. As far as I can tell, you got 38 out of 263. That's what it says.
Wow.
38 out of 263 and a merit.
Shit.
Usually he just puts the number. I've seen 38 before, and we decided that was the same as 19 because for some reason he'd gone 38 out of 40. We've got no proof of that. We've got no sense of what his numbers are out of until this story. This is the first time he seems to have written what he's out of. And I think the big surprise here is that all along it's been out of 263.
Well,
and most of your stories were evaluated as deserving 19 out of 263, except this one, which was twice as good.
Yes.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, wubba-dubba-doo. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world.
But on the first page of this, you've written something. I have just started at Castle Rock High School, and I have the extreme good fortune to be in Mr. Cotton's class. If I had been unlucky, I might have ended up with Mrs. Sewell, or even worse, Mr. Bailey. Both of these are mad. And indeed, Mr. Bailey has been known to hang children up by their thumbs for even making one spelling mistake. Mr. Cotton, however, is extremely kind, and I am lucky to be in the class of someone so wonderful and modest.
Never correct spelling mistakes.
Yeah, and then no one's corrected this one because it doesn't seem to be a thing. And then you've given yourself 29 out of 30, and then you've written poo, 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 poo. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Worst Writer in the World. If you would like more entertaining audio stuff by us, then go to patreon.com/manbycow, where there is so much you will shit yourself. You will immediately shit yourself with fear that you just don't have the time in your life to listen to it. Like, even if you do absolutely nothing else, then you just won't have time. And you'll want to because it's all amazing. And at least I'd say the worst thing on there is 20 times better than today's episode. There's like no way you can quantify, like you can check that. I feel like I can say that with impunity because how could you possibly objectively check that? Well, there is one way to try at least, and that's go to Patreon and sign up for as little as $2 a month and immediately get your hands on like years of back catalogue.
Yeah, please do it. Please do it. And if you're that guy I saw in the Barbican the other day, please just join. Please.
Yeah, if you're one of those people who've been like thinking about it for a while, you know, oh yeah, I must get round to that, and and still haven't, just think about how happy you'll make us when your name pops up. We'll be very, very happy. And secondly, think about how happy you'll be when you get to hear us guffing on for hours and hours about just ridiculous, ridiculous stuff. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Milk.
He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer. Yeah.